From ally to adversary, Sudan declares UAE an aggressor state. A diplomatic bombshell has rocked the Horn of Africa. Sudan has officially declared the United Arab Emirates an aggressor state, cutting all ties over alleged arms transfers to paramilitary forces. Even its civilians bear the brunt of one of the gravest humanitarian crises on the planet. I'm Samia Mohammed, and this is Analytica Today. On May 6, 2025, Sudan's Security and Defense Council announced an immediate severance of diplomatic relations with the UAE just one day after the International Court of Justice tossed out Khartoum's genocide suit against Abu Dhabi for lack of jurisdiction. Sudan accuses the UAE of arming the RSF, which has pounded Port Sudan with drones and missiles, cutting off the city that has served as a lifeline for millions displaced by the two-year civil war. Sudan's civil war erupted on April 15, 2023, pitting the Sudanese armed forces under General Abdel Fattah al-Burhan against the paramilitary rapid support forces led by Mohammed Hamdan Dagalo, originating from Darfur's Janjaweed militants. The RSF has been implicated in ethnic cleansing, particularly against the non-Arab Masalit, and accused of genocide. Conservative estimates place the death toll at 150,000, while 14.6 million have been displaced, fueling the world's worst displacement crisis. On May 5, 2025, the International Court of Justice ruled 14 to vote that it manifestly lacks jurisdiction to hear Sudan's genocide complaint against the UAE, citing Abu Dhabi's 2005 reservation to Article of the 1948 Genocides Convention, which bars compulsory ICJ adjudication of disputes under that treaty. Sudan has simultaneously sought provisional measures to halt alleged genocide acts against Darfur's Masalit community, but the court declined to impose any interim protection, prompting Khartoum to denounce the decision as a travesty of justice and vote to pursue other legal avenues. At dawn on May 6, Sudan's Army Alliance Security and Defense Council announced that the UAE would be declared an aggressor state, its ambassador recalled, and its Khartoum embassy shuttered, citing UAE's supply drones and monitors used by the RSF in strikes on Port Sudan. Port Sudan, once the civil war de facto refuge for displaced civilians and humanitarian agencies, has endured days of RSF drone strikes. Explosions rocked its fuel depots, power substations, and the airport actions the UN warns could throttle aid deliveries and deepen famine risks. Aid agencies have suspended flights and sounded the alarm on surging malnutrition and disease. Denials, evidence, and stakes. Although the UAE has yet to formally respond to the May 6 break, it has repeatedly denied arming the RSF. In a June 2024 UN statement, Abu Dhabi condemned such claims as mischaracterizations and outright fabrications, framing itself as a mediator pushing for ceasefires and humanitarian relief. Contradicting official denials, UN expert panels and US congressional reports have documented transfers of light attack aircrafts, drone systems, and precision munitions from the UAE to RSF units accused of war crimes and ethnic atrocities. If sustained, these links threaten the UAE's image as peacemaker and could spur sanctions. Even North Africa has joined the fray. On May 2nd, Algerian state television unleashed a torrent of insults at the UAE, branding its Miscore state dwarf and artificial country in retaliation for a Sky News Arabia segment deemed offensive to Algeria's amazing identity. This spot highlights growing Maghreb Gulf tensions, where Algeria's leadership resists Emirati and Saudi influence. Between 2011 and 2018, Abu Dhabi injected over $7 billion into Sudan after South Sudan's secession. Between 2011 and 2018, Abu Dhabi injected over $7 billion into Sudan's after South Sudan's secession, securing mining and agricultural deals in exchange for political alignment. By cutting ties, Khartoum risks alienating a key economic backer, but hopes to rally alternative patrons, Egypt, Turkey, and Russia, to counterbalance Gulf sway. With half of Sudan's 48 million people facing acute hunger, closed embassies and airspace restrictions imperil crucial border crossings and aid convoys, deepening the nation's world's first humanitarian crisis. Relief agencies warn that prolonged diplomatic paralysis could cost thousands more lives. Sudan's bold declaration against the UAE crystallizes a deeper struggle over external influence in its civil war, one fought in courts, media broadcasts, and diplomatic protocols as much as won the battlefield. With Algeria's invective amplifying Gulf frictions and humanitarian corridors under fire, Khartoum's gamble may either force Abu Dhabi to temper its proxy backing or further isolate Sudan, fueling the conflict it seeks to resolve. I'm Samia Mohammed, and this is Analytica Today. If you found this analysis insightful, subscribe for more deep dives, share your perspectives below, and stay tuned as we continue to track the shifting alliances and their human tolls across Africa and beyond.